Okay, so now let me talk about a little bit of what happens in the past, the storyline of the past. And I've said this before, in all of the Gears of War books, Karen Travis goes into a storyline in the present, and she also goes into a storyline in the past. The storyline of the present was one of my favorite present storylines so far. So that's why I went so much into it. But the past, it's good. I thought it was interesting. The biggest point of this book was kind of like the opposite of Asphalt Field, because in Asphalt Field, the big issue was the past. And in this one, the big issue is the present. But in the past, the topic is the hammer strikes on Ephera. And that is when Prescott made the decision to use the Hammer of Dawn on Ephera, except for Jacinto, because the Jacinto area was one of the safest places on Ephera because of the underground infrastructure that Jacinto has. It's like made out of bedrock, like really thick, so the locusts can't come from under. They can't really dig their way up. So that's why Jacinto was one of the safest places. So Prescott's like, we're gonna completely destroy all of Ephera with the Hammer of Dawn, because that way we make sure that the locusts don't take over those cities and get resupplied, because that's what the locusts do. They kill people from cities and they resupply themselves. They get guns and all that to keep attacking. So Prescott's like, that's the only way to destroy the enemy's resources. And Hoffman's just like, are you freaking kidding me? And Adam Phoenix, Marcus's dad, he's the one that created the Hammer of Dawn. Adam Phoenix is like, are you serious? We're gonna kill our own people? And he's like, there's no way we could evacuate everybody. And plus, if we could, how would Jacinto hold all of Ephera? And Prescott's like, well, we'll give them 3 days for whoever wants to evacuate and whoever gets here on time. If they don't, then it's too bad. And it's not like Prescott did this because he's the freaking devil. He did this because he didn't have any other choice. He's just like, what else do we do? It's either that, kill a huge percentage of our own people, or let the human race die, go extinct. Because the locusts were killing them. And he was like, he asked Hoffman, how much longer do we have? And Hoffman's like, I don't know, maybe like a month, maybe. I think he says like weeks to a month. And we'll all be dead by then. He's like, this is not going good. And Prescott's like, what other option do we have? We have to stop the enemy from resupplying themselves, from getting stronger. So he's like, let's just destroy the rest of Ephera, and we'll be the only ones remaining. And he's like, and humanity has a stronger chance to survive if we do this than not. He's like, if we don't, we're going to be wiped out completely. So Adam Phoenix is not for it at all. He's just like, this is so wrong. And he just feels horrible because he's the one that made the weapon. And Prescott's like, do you have any other options? And Adam Phoenix is like, in the amount of time that you're saying, no. And he's just like, I don't know what to do. And Hoffman also feels really bad, but he's like, he's right. What else do we have left? It's either kill our own people and save a few people to continue the race, or just let the whole race get wiped out. This is like a complete secret when they decide this. These 3 people and another dude, I don't remember who it was, some other guy. Prescott tells his secretary, you should get your sister or your cousin or something like that to come out here, just to help you out. And she's like, no, it's okay. And he's like, no, you should tell her to come and stay here. And he's trying to warn her, because her sister lived outside of Jacinto. She would have been killed if he didn't tell her that. So he's just like, no, tell her to come. And she's like, no, it's okay. And he's like, no, I insist. And so she ends up calling her sister to come over here, but she really has no idea why it was. It's just like, okay, well, for a little vacation for her or whatever. And Hoffman doesn't tell his wife because he's like, because his wife lives there in Jacinto, but her sister lives away from Jacinto in an area where that was targeted by the hammer strike, that was gonna be targeted. He's like, if I tell her, she's gonna tell her sister, and then her sister is gonna start this whole panic. And he's like, we can't do that yet because we haven't even gone live with this information. We haven't even told people to start evacuating. So he doesn't say anything. When Prescott announces the evacuation, where he's like, this is what we're gonna do, he tells everyone, he says, you guys have 3 days to get to Jacinto. I mean, come on. When you say that, 3 days is nothing. Because the roads were completely blocked, like parking lots. Nobody could get anywhere because they were all trying to leave from all the cities. So whoever made it into Jacinto was freaking lucky. But everyone else was just, they couldn't get there. When Hoffman's wife finds out, and she's like, Hoffman knew this? She's like, Victor, you son of a... Hoffman's like, what did you want me to do? I couldn't tell you, and who knows what. And she's like, I'm leaving. And Hoffman's like, you can't leave. And she's like, I'm gonna go get my sister. I'm gonna do it myself. And Hoffman's like, no. He's like, you can't. You would never make it back in time. And she's like, I don't care. And he's just like, oh my God, you can't freaking leave. And she does. She like tells him she hates him and tells him like all these bad things, and she leaves. And Hoffman's just like, damn it. And he calls checkpoints around Jacinto, and he says, my wife is gonna be passing a checkpoint soon. And he's like, don't you dare let her go. He's like, just stop her and arrest her. I don't care what you do, but don't you dare let her leave Jacinto. There's like hours left, and Hoffman hasn't heard a single thing from his wife. The checkpoints say, we haven't seen her. She hasn't passed through here. And Hoffman's just like, where the hell is she? And he's like, she must have known that I was going to do that. And he's like, she must have found a way around to avoid checkpoints. And he's just going crazy because he's like, oh my God, I'm going to kill my own wife. And she doesn't show up. And it's so sad. Oh my God, it's crazy. Because this is when they're gonna do that. This is when they're gonna, there's minutes left. These guys have keys. Hoffman has a key, Prescott has a key, and I think another dude, his name is Salomon, has a key. And these keys turn on the Hammer of Dawn. They activate it. All three at the same time. And Adam Phoenix doesn't even have a key. So when they're gonna do it, Hoffman's just like, oh my God, where is Margaret? And when Adam Phoenix finds out what happened to Hoffman's wife, he tells him, if you prefer, Victor, give me the key. I'll do it. Like you said, it's my bomb. And Victor's like, and Hoffman's like, thanks, but no, I have to do this. I wouldn't, he says, I won't be the only man widowed tonight. I shouldn't dish it out if I can't take it. And then it's like 3, 2, turn. They turn the keys, and this is what Hoffman thinks. It's as good as over. Where the hell are you, Margaret? Margaret is his wife. Don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid. I was like, oh my God, dude, are you serious? Prescott says, forgive us, when he presses the button. And Hoffman thinks, forgive me, Margaret. And Sarah burned. It's crazy. Freaking crazy. So that's what the hammer strikes were, when they destroyed all of Sarah around them, except for Jacinto. Another interesting thing about the past in this was they mentioned they talked a little bit about Maria, Dom's wife. After their kids died in Ide during the emergence, Benedicto and Sylvia, they were at Maria's parents' house when this happened. And they all ended up dying. Maria's parents and the kids. When they died, Maria just kind of lost it mentally. She was just, she couldn't accept it. She was like, this is my fault. They weren't supposed to be away from us. They should have stayed here with us and all this. And Dom tries to get her to react, but he can't be with her 24/7 because he's in the freaking army. He's a gear. So they need him, especially during the locust attacks. So in their house, in Dom's house, Maria makes like a shrine to Benedicto and to Sylvia in their rooms. She goes into their rooms every day and just like sits there and cries all day. She does this every day since they died. And I think it's been a year. It's been a year since Emergence Day when this starts, the whole Hammer of Dawn thing. Maria's just like, she has to take pills, psychological pills, because she's like anxiety type of pills, like depression or something, because she's just not, she's not all there anymore. She's like losing it. And she's like, I go for walks every day. And Dom's like, oh, that's good, honey. You know, that's good. You keep your mind out. And he's like, but don't go out too much right now because it's not safe. And she's like, no, I have to. I have to go out. And Dom is just kind of like, he doesn't want her to go out, but he can't really tell her not to because what the hell is she going to do in the house? Just sit up there in the shrine? And so Dom's like super worried about her because he's like, she's losing it. And she's just not the same Maria that he knew. She's not the same. And later, she says something that really creeps Dom out. She says, I have to go on my walk. And Dom is like, no, not right now because of they had just used the Hammer of Dawn. And there was debris and dust everywhere, like really bad for your lungs. Everyone was saying you gotta wear a mask when you go outside, and you can't, if you don't have to go outside, don't go outside. Gears had to wear their helmets or like breathing masks, and Dom was like, no, you can't go outside anymore, not right now. And she's like, I have to find them. And Dom's like, find who? And she's like, I saw Benedicto and Sylvia. I saw the kids. They were outside. I have to go find them. And he's like, oh my God. She's like, lost it even more than he thought. She was seeing the kids. And that's why she would go on walks, because she would see them. So she ends up staying with Adam Phoenix at the estate, at the Phoenix estate with Marcus's dad, just so that she's not alone. But yeah, that's what happened to Maria. She was already losing it. So the Maria that Dom knew didn't just die when he killed her in Gears of War 2. She kind of lost. She kind of just lost herself after E-Day when her kids died. That was the last of the Maria that Dom knew. The Hammer of Dawn would only destroy the surface. It can't penetrate to the ground. So it's not like they were going to destroy the locusts underneath. They were going to destroy everything on the surface so that the locusts had nothing to scavenge anymore. So they were cutting off their supplies. They find out that there are people that survived, like underground in sheds and in like basements and stuff like that. And this is kind of like in Gears of War 3, the Ash people and Char, on that one city, Char, where you go to talk to Griffin. The people that are in Ash, and then that guy, the Ash Man, I think they call him. He was like all in gray. It's like that. People look like that. So that's why that's why the Ash guy looks like that, because I guess he stayed that way. He just keeps that look, so that he could keep an eye out and blend in. But that's where the whole Ash people starts after the hammer strike. So that's basically it. This is super long already. This book is really good. The Present is an awesome story. I had so much fun reading it. And actually, the comic, this series, The next comic is gonna be coming out on 29th or something like that. One of these days in October. It's the Dirty Little Secrets Part 2. This is Part 1, but Part 2 is gonna come out pretty soon in this month. It actually goes into what this starts to talk about. So it's really cool because it's almost the same story, but you're seeing it. And so it's also when they're on the helicopter and they're leaving Jacinto while it's flooding. So it's almost the same freaking thing, but a little different. Well, not different. It just takes like a different point of view while Command is exiting Anya and all them are leaving to get to the Raven. If you guys want to see Sirotki, he's actually in here. This is Sirotki. For those of you that know who Sirotki is and read the books and want to know what Sirotki looks like, that's Sirotki. He's the King Raven pilot. And he comes out a lot in the books. And I freaking love the guy. He's so awesome. But this is a really interesting comic. I really suggest you guys get this comic, at least this series. Because this one goes into the whole... This is a spoiler for Gears of War 3, by the way. Idea that Adam Phoenix knew that the Locusts were going to attack. So it goes into that. And I just think it's so freaking cool. I can't wait till the next one comes out. Because they're actually going to be on Vectis already. And I really want to see that. So this series of comics connects directly to this book, starting this book, and the rest. So from book 2, 3, and 4, this series connects with it. This series has nothing to do with the first one though, with the first book. So this series is also, or this comic is also pretty good. Because Trescu is in this one. That's Trescu. And that's Trescu's dad. And he does talk about his dad in this book. Karen Travis wrote these comics too. She wrote, not all of them, she didn't write all of them. She wrote this one. Karen Travis. And she wrote that other one. She wrote a few. And you do see a lot of that book in Gears of War 3. So yeah, it's a good book. Really, really good. So that was the second book of the Gears of War novels. First one was Asphalt Fields, and yeah, hopefully you guys give it a try. It is very good. If not, then you'll do with this, because I pretty much went over the most important parts of the storyline that I thought were important to know, especially to get to know some of these characters and to know what the hell happened, and to know to make some of the things from Gears of War 3 kind of be like, oh, okay, I get it. I know what that was about. But yeah, that's basically all I had to say. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I will be doing a spoiler-free review for the third book, Anvil Gate, and a spoiler storyline for it. So, stay tuned for that. That will be in a few days. That's basically it, and I'll talk to you guys later.